And on to debate number 2. Viewers, a strong blast ripped through the wall of CRPF school in Delhi's Rohini area on Sunday morning, sending shockwaves across the national capital. The FSL team today visited the site to collect evidence. The NI team also visited the blast spot, and so did a 4-member team of the CRPF. A pro-Khalistani group, Justice League India, has reportedly claimed responsibility for the attack, but the Delhi police is looking at the case from all angles. My colleague Pradeep Datta visited the blast site earlier in the day. Take a look at the report filed by him.
See, right now I'm outside the boundary wall of the CRPF school here in Rohini area. 4-member CRPF team is here. You can see they are wearing gloves. They are trying to collect evidence because yesterday on the same spot where they are right now sitting and trying to collect evidence, the explosion had taken place. Because yesterday they were able to find a white powder that made them believe that either it can be ammonium nitrate or ammonium phosphate, or it can be hydrogen peroxide, something material that is easily available in the local market that clearly makes them believe that whichever terror organization is involved, there is every possibility that some sleeper cell is being used by the terror organization so that they can buy this material from the local market and then carry out this explosion.
And there are various theories which the investigators are working on. Sources say this is what the investigating agencies are focusing on as far as their investigation is concerned. The first theory is that there is a possible K angle, a viral post by pro-Khalistan group on Telegram. And in this particular group, they have claimed a revenge strike. The second theory is that banned Maoist groups and the role of banned Maoist groups is under investigation. 38 Maoists were killed in successful operations by our forces in recent days. And the third is, of course, a possible Pakistan angle, the use of circuit loop, a pattern used in Jammu and Kashmir attacks. Cables and batteries to make the timer device have been found. Meanwhile, a political fight has erupted with Delhi Chief Minister Atishi slamming the BJP government at the centre, and the BJP vowing that those behind the blast won't be spared.
अगर आप भारतीय जनता पार्टी की केंद्र सरकार का ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड देखिए तो वो अपना 99% टाइम लगाते हैं चुनी हुई सरकार के काम रोकने में, और शायद 1% भी समय वो नहीं लगाते हैं अपने काम करने में, पुलिस व्यवस्था ठीक करने में, सुरक्षा व्यवस्था ठीक करने में।
दिल्ली में भी एक ब्लास्ट हुआ गया, कई तरीके से इसकी पड़ताल हो रही है, डर का माहौल फैलाने की साजिश।
इसलिए मैंने कहा ना कि धमकी की धूर्तता और धमाकों की धृष्टता करने वाले धूल धूसरित होंगे, आप देखिएगा।
Terror also struck Jammu and Kashmir's Ganderbal, where a doctor and 6 construction laborers were shot dead. The National Investigation Agency visited the incident site and is set to take over this probe. As per sources in an internal security meeting, the terror attack is part of a diabolical plan by Pakistan to use banned terror outfits, that is Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, who in turn are using small hit squads to carry out these senseless killings. But what's interesting is that in a complete departure from his previous statements, Farooq Abdullah, who has in the past battled for talks with Pakistan, today sent out a strong message to neighboring nations saying that Kashmir will never become Pakistan.
अब बताइए मुझे, इन दरिंदों को मिलेगा क्या? क्या वो समझते हैं इससे यहाँ पाकिस्तान बनेगा? आज कई सालों से हम ये देख रहे हैं कि वो आ रहे हैं वहाँ से, और हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि ये मामला ख़त्म हो और हम लोग आगे बढ़ें, हम लोग मुश्किलों से निकल सकें। मैं पाकिस्तान के हुक्मरानों से ये कहना चाहता हूँ, अगर वो सचमुच हिंदुस्तान से दोस्ती चाहते हैं तो फिर ये बंद कीजिए। कश्मीर पाकिस्तान नहीं बनेगा, नहीं बनेगा, नहीं बनेगा। हम लोग कैसे आगे बढ़ेंगे अगर यही चलता रहा है? वक्त आ गया कि इनको बंद करना चाहिए। ये
देखिए, ये सभी लोग जानते हैं कि धमकी की धूर्तता और धमाकों की धृष्टता करने वाले धूल धूसरित होंगे, और ये बात चाहे वो फारूक साहब हों या चाहे और कोई लोग हों, उनको भी अच्छी तरह मालूम है कि चाहे ये धमकी की धूर्तता और धमाकों की धृष्टता सीमा के अंदर से हो रही हो या सीमा के पार से हो रही हो, उनका सफाया होगा। और जहाँ पर जो आतंक का अखाड़ा है वहाँ तो आटे की आफत है।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, continuing with us from debate number one, Atuin Sinha as well as Kamruzaban Chaudhary. But joining us on the show is Sushant Sareen, Senior Fellow of ORF. Also with us is Advocate Anmol Panwar, who is a spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party. But my first question is to Advocate Niloufar Masood, leader of the National Conference. Advocate Niloufar Masood, what has happened to Mr. Farooq Abdullah? Just a few days after his son is sworn in as Chief Minister, is the fact that his party is in the saddle that has changed his tune? Because over the past months, we've seen him advocate for talks with Pakistan at a time when the stated policy of the government of India is that talks and terror can't go hand in hand. Many other controversial statements he's made. But is there a marked change in the position of the National Conference now?
Madhav, I think today's militant attack at Ganderbal is a heinous crime against the humanity and it should be highly condemnable. I don't find words to express my deepest sympathies towards the families who have lost their innocent members in this militant attack. Unfortunately, we never expected this elected government should start with this condemnation, but unfortunately, we had to start it. We have been witnessing such situations from last 35 years. There is no end of this violence. I don't think the violence is to be justified in any manner. So has been said by the Dr. Farooq Abdullah. We are not changing our stance. That's true that for having peace, constant peace, we need to talk to the neighbors. There is no doubt about it. But the thing is that the environment should be like that, wherein we can put our things on the table and negotiate on the situation, which should be peaceful. We intended that the situations all around should come to a halt to as such a peace that this should last for so many constant years to come together. But unfortunately, to start with this new government, it's very unfortunate.
No,
I
definitely
think,
unfortunate, but ma'am, will you at least
forces,
concede that while not in power, the kind of statements that Dr. Farooq Abdullah and others have been making was highly irresponsible. Ye sab mile hue barbadi ke liye is a comment that he made on the Indian Army. Now look at the same Indian Army which is protecting the borders of Jammu and Kashmir and the people against such terrorists.
We have never maligned, neither we want to malign our own security forces or the police. They have always been there for protecting the humanity on the ground. But unfortunately, when such incidents take place, we have to take the call that for constant peace, we need to talk about with our neighbors also. We have not changed that stance. But for that reason, we should have an environment, a good environment where we can talk with them. But once these things are, they just want to show we people that yes,
no,
we
I want
still
Sushant
exist
Sareen to come in and fact check you, ma'am, because Sushant Sareen, if you listen to Advocate Niloufar Masood, she seems to suggest that there's been no responsible statement by any Valley leader, least of all National Conference leaders. Would you like to refresh your memory, sir?
No, there have been innumerable statements, Madhav, but the problem in Jammu and Kashmir always has been that when they are in opposition, they sing one tune. When they are in government, they sing another tune. And that is precisely what is happening even now. So one is that bit, so Dr. Abdullah, whenever he is in power or National Conference is in power, he is a stalwart Indian, and a very staunch Indian. The moment the National Conference loses power, there is a certain ambiguity in the positions he takes. That is one part. But that's not limited only to the National Conference, it's across the political spectrum. My bigger problem, however, is this constant refrain that we should talk to the neighbor. Now, Dr. Abdullah, when he's in opposition, he says that we need to talk to Pakistan. When he's fighting the elections, he says we need to talk to Pakistan. The moment they get power, they say Pakistan, you don't need to talk to power if this to Pakistan if what they're going to do. The problem, however, is that people don't realize that we've always spoken to Pakistan and nothing has come out of it. Now, the lady out here is saying that, if the atmosphere is conducive, if things are very nice. If things are very nice, then what are you going to talk about? And in any case, what are talks going to bring to you? You've tried the talks in the past. You've had people like Mr. Omar Abdullah even go to Pakistan and interact with the Pakistanis. In the 60s, you had Dr. Farooq Abdullah. Okay, that's a very, that's way back in the past. And at that point of time, he was playing a very dubious role. But you've had even Omar Abdullah go to Pakistan. You've had all of it. Nothing has come out of it. The Pakistanis are not interested in. So I don't see why this constant refrain that keep talking to the Pakistanis, what is going to come out? Nothing. That is my bigger problem, that rather than if they're actually affected by terrorism and they don't want to run with the hare and hunt with the hound, that kind of politics is not to be followed in Kashmir anymore, then they need to break off from this whole Pakistan nonsense which has been going on for 70 years. They need to make a clean break with it. I think 2019, the constitutional reforms in Kashmir have given that opportunity. They need to grab this opportunity and stop this constant refrain of using Pakistan as some kind of a lever.
And Nilofer Masood, before I go across to other panels, sorry I'm interrupting you there, Sushant, because I just want to read out, and you're saying that no such irresponsible comments have been made. I'm just reading out 3 tweets of Omar Abdullah from 2016, right after Burhan Wani. After many years, I hear slogans for Azadi resonate from the mosque in my uptown Srinagar locality. Kashmir's disaffected got a new icon yesterday. Mark my words, Burhan's ability to recruit into militancy from the grave will far outstrip anything he could have done on social media. Alas, Burhan isn't the first to pick up the gun, won't be the last. Jammu Kashmir NC has always maintained that a political problem needs a political solution. When you're going to be glorifying terrorists like this, madam, how are you being responsible? And this is a former chief minister. He had served as CM even before this.
Madhav, we have never glorified terrorism or the militancy. We have never glorified. What we want to convey is that one of the parts of the Jammu and Kashmir, that is with the Pakistan. And for constant peace, we need to talk to them. Unless and until we don't talk to them, these things are going to happen. They are showing their presence off and on. There should be somewhere end of all these situations. We have been dealing it and we have been witnessing this situation from the last more than 35 years. And we are the sufferers, we are the worst sufferers. So we need to talk.
But ma'am, the stated policy of the government of India is that talks and terror can't go hand in hand. We've maintained that position all throughout for the past over a decade.
Affairs Minister has been in this Pakistan. They must have talked there. But the thing is, when we say that we should talk to the India, I don't know why it is a bitter truth for everybody. We can have match, we can have everything.
Madhav, see, one, again, the barrister is talking about, stuff like that we need to have some kind of conducive environment. We've had conducive environments in the past. Nothing has come out of it. Then this constant cliche that political problem need a political solution. Can you please define what the political problem is? And can you please try and give us some example of what a political solution will be in your mind? Because it's never specified. It's left as this this idea which nobody ever articulates, but it's used as a kind of a slogan to carry out a much more kind of a sinister agenda in Kashmir. So what my suggestion is that, look, if you really want peace in Kashmir, if the political leadership in Kashmir stops this ambiguity and this ambivalence on things like violence, on terrorism, on separatism, peace will come to Kashmir and no outsider, no saboteur can come and disturb the peace in Kashmir.
Right.
But
I want to quickly
precisely this double game which they say, which leads to this kind of a problem where people find a space which can be used. And finally, these guys also use it as a lever, against the central government, that we will blackmail you by talking about separate.
Right. Kamruzaman Chowdhury, your alliance partner, National Conference, also appears to be speaking in many tongues, as we've just been discussing. But what is very curious is that through the course of this election campaign, a national party like the Congress party, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, invoking this outsider versus insider narrative, saying your resources are going to go away. And look at the people who've been killed. There are people from different states of the country, including Madhya Pradesh and other parts of the country. So the question that I'm just asking you over here is that why is it Bihar and Madhya Pradesh is where the victims are from? Why would a national party like that do that in a sensitive state like Jammu and Kashmir, sir? And isn't that highly irresponsible, Kamruzaman Chowdhury?
Madhav, I know where you are coming from. Basically, before Rahul Gandhi made this statement, as per Government of India, 780 terror attacks have taken place over the last 5 years. 174 civilians have died. And you say the Government of India is in denial mode. We can parade the foreign diplomats to highlight our peaceful election in the Kashmir Valley. but we will not let the journalists visit the Kashmir Valley. This is the hypocrisy of the Bharatiya Janata Party government.
Which journalists did not visit Kashmir Valley?
You have made a state redundant by making it into an union territory, and you want to blame Rahul Gandhi for his statement. Were there no targeted killings prior to Rahul Gandhi's statement in Kashmir? How come you can make such an irresponsible statement from the chair you are occupying? Madhav, I don't see it.
Sir, he's made a comment on a public rally through the course of the political campaign. Questions should not be asked. No, questions should not be asked of Mr. Gandhi. Is that where you're coming from?
No, of course you can ask the question.
Then I'm asking a question. Please answer the question.
That's the Bhakt Mandali wants you to. That's what the Bhakt Mandali wants.
Sir, it doesn't matter what Mandali wants me to ask which question. I will ask questions of you. I will ask questions of Tuhin Sinha. Please don't teach to me my job. I know very well how to do my job. Please stick to the answer. Please stick to answering your question instead of diverting from the issue.
I am sorry about that.
All right, Tuhin Sinha. Since Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary obviously wants to only shoot the messenger, simple question. Where has the centre failed in fulfilling its responsibility for the security of the citizens of Jammu and Kashmir? We saw a spate of attacks happening in Jammu, and whether it's the national capital or Jammu and Kashmir, ultimately, it is for the centre, whether it is, when it comes to foreign threats such as terror, to protect its citizenry. Tuhin Sinha.
Madhav, Mr. Chaudhary just said something absolutely ridiculous, which you probably missed out on. He said, you have made the state redundant by converting it into an Indian territory. I was shocked. What does he mean? Kashmir has always been an integral part of India. Does Congress believe that it was not an integral part of India? This is the attitude which is responsible for the continued violence. He was quoting 730 or whatever number of attacks. That is 70% down compared to what used to exist pre-2019. But anyway, let us not get into that. Today, Farooq Abdullah has made a welcome statement. I appreciate that. But point is, Farooq Abdullah has been a rather flexible politician. He needs to be more consistently pro-India. He needs to go further. He needs to say that his manifesto before the elections had two grave errors. One was the promise to bring back Article 370, and the other was the promise to have talks with, or the aspiration to have talks with Pakistan. These are the people who unfortunately have kept Pakistan alive in the valley. Pakistan has no role in the valley, right from Kashmir conspiracy case of 1953. These are the people who have kept Pakistan active in the valley, and I think it is about time they tell their alliance partner Congress also that Pakistan has no future in the valley, and I think Farooq Abdullah needs to be
all right, let me bring in Advocate Anmol Panwar as well. He's spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Advocate Panwar, why are we seeing similar politics play out in the national capital as well, where the Aam Aadmi Party, including Mr. Saurabh Bharadwaj and others, are raising questions on the law and order situation and the handling of the Rohini blast?
Madhav Ji, it is evident from what's happening in Delhi. Delhi today is facing an unprecedented law and order crisis. The streets have turned into battle zones with daily incidents of rapes, extortion, murders, and now shootings. And now this recent incident, which happened near a school in Rohini, that has shaken the city to its core. And this sharp rise in crime is a clear indicator of the alarming incompetence of the BJP-led central government, which is responsible for maintaining the law and order in the national capital. But it's a clear investigative agency failure. Just imagine what could have happened if the school had been in session. But the problem is that the BJP government, it is in deep slumber, while the people of Delhi, while the citizens of Delhi are fearing for their lives. Now it is for the BJP to answer that why have they made Delhi a crime capital? Why have they made Delhi a rape capital? And now these bomb blast incidents are also taking place. What is the investigative agency doing? What is the Delhi police doing? And what is the BJP-led central government doing, who is responsible for maintaining the deteriorating law and order situation?
Tuhin Sinha, quick response, please. Almost out of time.
Such empty rhetoric doesn't cut ice. Have you checked the data? Is Delhi the crime capital? I agree, that any blast which takes place in the country is a matter of grave concern. It raises security issues. But I think our track record on terrorism is there for the world to see. We have seen what used to happen between 2005 to 2009. But anyway, there could be a Khalistan link to this. And I think the Aam Aadmi Party should rather focus on, the desilting issues and other issues, civic issues.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Tuhin, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. This is due to the paucity of time. Tuhin Sinha, Sushant Sareen, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, Advocate Nilafar Masood and Advocate Anmol Pawar. Unfortunately, in our country, nothing is above politics, not even something like terrorism, which should ordinarily be uniting citizens and political parties. We'll have to leave it there for the moment. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.